get them fired from their jobs. That is the real story that has not been told to Judge Krupp.
Is 500 feet okay with you?
No, 0 feet is okay with me.
And were there any, back to the Proctor thing, did you urge at all anyone? Did you put the information out? Did you say, I didn't see the clip, did you say contact?
I don't remember the exact thing, but I said, I did post about what our employer's name was, since that's what we're doing now. And if people commented on her page or gave them a negative review, that's on them. I didn't leave a negative review on Instrom's Facebook page. If Instrom wants to employ somebody who acts like that and behaves like that, they're free to. But I have a right to inform the public that this woman is doing this behavior and she works for this company over here.
Judge Krupp alluded that this case would eventually be heard by a jury. Did you think it would ever go that far?
I have no idea how the process works. I'm happy to try this in front of a jury, whatever they want to do. I'm not afraid. The facts are on my side. I would love to get these 8 so-called victims or witnesses on the stand and ask them about exactly what they did. And I would like to ask Elizabeth Proctor why she did that, why she contacted people's employers, and why it's not okay when the same thing ends up happening to her.
You've been very supportive of Karen Reed and her family. Have they been supportive of you? Have they reached out to you?
Oh, I've had conversations with the Reed family for sure. Positive conversations.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Good job.
Tim, you want to add anything?
Any questions? I'll take questions.
So the judge talked about due process, and that being originally the argument was based on the First Amendment. And so is he going to want more documentation to back that up? Or?
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to be fair to the Commonwealth. I don't have any problem with that. You know, we're not here to compromise. We're not here to work out a solution. These orders are unconstitutional. They need to be vacated. If they can take a month if they want to find some law in their favor. They're not going to find it. This case, we just kept uncovering theories on why this violates Mr. Carney's First Amendment rights. You know, it violates his due process rights. The government can't just suddenly decide that everything that all of you folks do every day is now a felony. That's absurd. That's a due process violation. The government has to give fair notice. A reasonably intelligent person has to be able to look at a statute and know what is prohibited and what is not. And there are reams of videos where people stick a microphone in someone's face, and I don't mind, Ted, you're sticking one in my face. But, you know, when you're trying to uncover hard stories, hard facts, you have to get tough. And I know a lot of you here, and, you know, a lot of you have to get tough, and I've seen it, and it's terrific for uncovering the facts, uncovering the truth. And the only reason Aidan Carney is the one on the chopping block here is because these prosecutors, these state troopers, they're lost in the fog of the battle here on the Karen Reed case. And Aidan Carney is uncovering facts that hurt them. And so they used what was at what they had to go after Aidan Carney. They used the machinery of the state to prosecute him on something that is unprecedented. Pure journalism, on something that is tough journalism that is completely covered and protected by the First Amendment. The Supreme Court allows KKK, allows Nazis, allows awful people to spew hate. That's not even what we're doing here. Aidan Carney is doing good work, is speaking on matters of public concern, is what the Supreme Court calls it, and is acting in such a way that helps society, helps the pursuit of truth. And he's the one that's on the chopping block. It's outrageous. This is a doomed prosecution. Whether it ends here in Dedham, whether it ends in Boston at the SJC, or whether it ends in Washington, D.C., this prosecution is doomed. Thank you.
Do you have to submit, does he have one more document before he takes the matter under advisement and issues a ruling?
Yeah, we supplied to the court in an electronic filing reams of clips off the internet where reporters, probably some of you in this crowd, are showing up somewhere impolite, showing up somewhere that might raise an eyebrow, showing up in a guy's driveway, asking tough questions, taking an advocacy point of view, and trying to get facts from a witness.
I believe it was your station
Yeah,
where a reporter
yeah.
showed up at Rachel Rollins' house and asked her about a road rage incident that I first reported. And Rachel Rollins flipped out on her and yelled, "Get out of my, you have no right to be here." But the reporter did have a right to be there. That's a time-honored tradition of journalism in this country. And what they are trying to do is ban people from being uncomfortable. Protesting is designed to make people uncomfortable. 250 years ago, this coming December, less than 10 miles from here, a bunch of people made the British uncomfortable by throwing a bunch of tea off a ship. And it jump-started a revolution that ended up creating the greatest country in the history of the earth, one in which free speech and free press is protected at all costs. And what they are trying to do right now, what the state is trying to do, what the corrupt Massachusetts police are trying to do, is trying to outlaw that. The same Detective Brian Tully, who signed the reports, Michael Proctor's fraudulent reports, is the one who not only spearheaded this entire investigation and this entire prosecution, he comes to